Morning everybody. I'm on the river steeping just below Thorpe Culvert Bridge, and that's to my left. The Wainfleet Relief Channel new cut is virtually straight in front of me. I'm just above the mouth of it. I came here about a month ago and fish were few and far between, but what there were good fish, and I finished up with, I think it was 70 fish for £8. We'll see. I mean, I've seen a fish top today, so we'll see what happens. And the Thorpe pump, which is about as far from that side of the bridge as I am from this, has started up while I've been setting up, so the water will be coming in and it'll be pushing through slightly. So we'll have a go and see what happens. One other thing I'll point out before I start, on my whip, since the river's been deep this year in the matches, I've been struggling to see bites with my cocktail stick top, so I made some more little wagglers but used a thinner bristle, which is it's a plastic bristle about 1.2mm thick, and all it is a bristle from a yard brush. And I found that if I leave probably that much out of the water, you can see the bite better than you can with a cocktail stick top. Can't hit them any better, but you can see them. The bites have been really hard to see and hit this year, so we'll see what happens. I'll put a bit of bread on. I'll start with a pole. I don't know what size pole this is, but I've got sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 number 8s and a 10 on it to get it down fairly quickly, and we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting an instant bite, but you never know with this river. The plan really is to get a bit of practice fishing for roach on the pole, because I'm having to use the pole a lot more this year than what I have done. So we'll see what happens. I would hope with it moving a bit that we'll get bites. I don't know what's wrong with the bread this year. It feels soft, it feels good, but it won't stay on the hook for some reason. It's not actually fresh bread, but it doesn't appear to matter this year how fresh it is. It doesn't stay on like it should do. There's a fish top out there, that's only a small one, but there's something here. I came here in the summer and fished opposite the mouth, threw a feeder into the mouth trying to catch bream, but fish. But I didn't get any. I finished up fishing the waggler on the far side with maggot and catching skimmers. I had about £5 a skimmer. That's a nice roach, couple of ounces. If I start catching fast, I'll get the whip out. But I say I'm intending really getting practice catching them on the pole, because I've been using the pole and bumping fish off with it, and I think my elastic's alright. Another one. There's some fish here. Might have to net this one. Come out. a better one. Better than we've been catching on the match length. They've been really tiny. But this area has a reputation for bigger fish, but sometimes you can come here and not get a bite. The only thing that worries me is that if the fish are feeding now, if the pump stops and it stops moving, that I shan't catch. That's a smaller one. Bit of rubbish on the top, but it's not too bad. It's been worse. Might get the whip out in a minute and see whether I can catch him on that, because it'll be quicker while they're feeding. Yeah, I think I'll try the whip. See. That's 4 decent ones. We'll give the whip a quick go. It might not work, but we'll see. Made the mistake of doing this in the matches, catch 2 or 3 fish on the pole and then go to the whip. Well, it's not so bad. That one's dropped off. Scram. Yeah, I'm gone to the whip and then not been able to catch, gone back and they've gone off the pole as well. So, but it doesn't look like it's making any difference today. They're still there. There's always a bit of movement on it here. It just moves faster when the pump's going and it's pushing water through. What happens is you've got a bit of flow here, and as soon as it hits the mouth of the cut it slows it down, so lower in the river Oh, that one has dropped off as well. That's a better one. It's come off in the net, which is a good idea. Save me unhooking it, as long as I'm not tangled. Yeah, fish topping. That's 7 fish I've got. Now I've been fishing about half an hour and I've got 15 decent fish and 11 smaller ones. A few minutes ago I run out of feed, so I mixed some feed up and dropped it in the side, and when I picked it up there was a fish on. So hopefully it's one of them days where you can't go wrong. Something will go wrong about too. You don't get many of these days where everything goes right. I mean, the pump stopped, but I tended to get smaller fish than what I was getting when it was running. I'm using a bigger bit of punch now. I'll go back to a bit smaller bit. The bread's not staying on very well, that's the problem. As I've had problems with it this year. I think they've altered the recipe of most bread to make it stay softer longer, but it doesn't help it stay on the hook better. Like there, I've got to rebait. I'd probably try a different brand, but I think they're all as bad as one another. Tried Warburton's at one time and it felt perfect, but it melted off the hook. In the summertime you can often look over that bridge and you can see a shoal of bigger roach. The other bridges further up, you see the next bridge further up you get a lot of smaller fish, and then the one above that there's a massive shoal of roach up there usually in the summer. There aren't many people actually fishing here. You get a few pikers, you get several people piking. There was when I came up last Sunday to go to the match, there was a load of pikers sat along that bank there. There must be a massive shoal here in front of me to be getting bites like this, and especially when I dropped it in the side and got one. Well, that bit of bread stayed on. I've been fishing when I've been in the matches. I've been, with it being deeper, I've been putting hemp in with my feed to, rather than gravel, to try and get it down, and I did think that the hemp was actually working, because I was catching early in a match and then going off probably for 2 or 3 hours and then coming on towards the end, and I thought it's probably hemp that was bringing them. But the last 2 or 3 matches I've fished, I've caught bugger all, to be honest. I caught a few for a start and then they've gone off and not come back, and I've had a lot of little fish and missed a lot of bites, so I don't know whether the hemp was doing any good or not, or whether it was a coincidence. I haven't got any today because I've got none cooked up at the minute. But this is unreal. It's not known this on this river for the last 2 years anyway. I mean, I came here a couple of times last year. I come one time and I sat here for 2 hours without a bite and I had to move. I must have just struck it lucky today. And the small fish I'm getting today are specimens compared with the ones that I was getting on the match length the last couple of times I've been. now been fishing almost 3 hours, and I've got 73 small fish and 39 decent ones. If the angle of the camera's changed a bit slightly, I've had to change the battery in it because the battery ran out, and I might not have got it on exactly the same place, so I hope you can still see what I'm doing. I'm just getting a few bites still. I've changed to a red top float because the sun was making it difficult to see the black one. That's another one. I also tried to make my bread a bit stiffer so that it goes down quicker. It's probably too stiff now, it's probably going down in a lump. That one. Another small one. What I didn't show you at the start was the device I made, because a lot of these pegs now they've dredged it and they drop the water lower. When you want to put your keep net in, you can see where the keep net is, it's all mud and it's not deep enough, so I've made myself that device that you can see behind. It's a kid's seaside bucket bolted to a landing net handle, and I use it to scoop the mud out so that I can get my keep net in. I am getting a few bites now. I had a spell where I was struggling for bites to get a bite at all. There's a swirl there, the pike over there. Another one out there, so that's two swirls in at the same time. So that's probably why I'm not getting so many bites. Funny thing is that place is alive with pike, but pike anglers can't seem to catch them. I suppose there's plenty of food in the river for them without them taking the pike anglers' baits. Oh, the pike striking over there again. I've now been fishing about 4 hours and I've got 107 small fish and 45 better ones. That pike, bloody hell. I assume it's a pike, it's in and out of the water over there. Yeah, it is, I can see it. I actually see it come up then. Don't know what it's doing. It's sticking its head out of the water. 108. I wondered whether it was something else, but no, definitely a pike. I just saw it stick its head out the water. It went all the way along there, in and out, in and out. It's gone down there. Getting mainly smaller fish now. The better ones seem to have disappeared. They're about the size I was getting on the match length. Missed that one. Red's still on, which is unusual. Yeah, I probably should better give it another hour before it gets dark. Another small one. Hopefully the better ones will move back in before I pack up. It just shallows up just there where my float is now. That's gone under now. I'm not sure whether that was dragging on the bottom or whether it was a bite. I think there's a weed bed, a bit of weed or something just there, and it just drags on it as it goes through at about 1:30, 1 o'clock. Still getting bites. So they're just smaller fish. Yeah, that'll probably drag under. It went under there, yeah, but it was a fish. That's 111 of the smaller ones. So I'll make some more food for the last hour. Not had a bite of this run through. Oh, there we go, missed it. I missed that as well. Right, I've now got all packed up and ready to weigh in. I've got the match scales and the net and the frame. I just pull the fish out now. Finished up with 140 small fish and 50 better ones. Got quite a good weight there. It's probably the best I've had here. Keep them in the water while I roll them down the net and pop them in. I've never done this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing, do I? There's double figures there, but how much above double figures? We'll see. Right, it's gone round once. £14.3, £14.3, which is not bad for here. If I'd have carried on like I started off, it would have been £24. I don't want to take that one home with me, I've done that before. They'll swim off, they'll be alright. Right, that's not too bad. Better than what I thought I'd get.